Good evening, everyone. If you don't know, you should know. My name is Rameez and I am a filmmaker and a film critic, and since season 2 of Mr. Robot is out, I asked myself, what is all the fuss about? That rhymes. And I sat down and watched Mr. Robot in one day. I believe there's a problem with me, so let's get on to the review of Mr. Robot.
Our social media faking is intimacy with our things, our property, our money. I'm not saying anything new. We all know why we do this. Because it's painful not to pretend, because we're cowards.
Elliot, you're not saying anything. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Mr. Robot is a shockingly excellent TV show on the USA Network. It stars Rami Malek as an antisocial hacker who also works for a cybersecurity company called AllSafe. So worker by day and hacker by night, but he's more than just a hacker. He sees himself as a liberator. He's like Bane, but with a computer. The very first scene, the very first shot of this episode, we see this, that this man does not care about money. He does care about justice, but he doles out justice in his own ways, which is behind a computer. The acting by Rami Malek is spectacular, man, and the best part about this guy is also his look. This guy looks like a hacker. This guy looks like an antisocial nerd, unlike Chris Hemsworth in Black Hat. Yeah, because that's what all hackers look like, right people? But one thing that also struck out to me and which made the character really believable was the makeup. In almost every episode of this show, we see Elliot, the character Rami Malek plays, with bags under his eyes. It really sells his anxiety, his paranoia, all that good stuff. And within 20 minutes of watching the very first episode of Mr. Robot, I was convinced that this is one of the best pilots I've ever seen for any TV show. Just the character building of Elliot's character is incredible, man, and it's so believable because that's what we all do. I love how he judges everyone off of his Facebook and social media pages. He judges one guy for being a douche for liking Josh Groban's music and for liking Transformers 2, because let's be honest, who likes Transformers 2? And apart from being a believable character, a character we can relate to, he's also given some brilliant character to sell on his social anxiety and to sell on his giving up on the world and to sell his outcast nature. He says lines such as, "What I wouldn't give to be one of them, to live in a bubble of naivete." And then he's given another brilliant dialogue, and I believe the very first episode on society. It's called Fuck Society. That ranks up there with Edward Norton's rant in The 25th Hour. So the plot is that Mr. Robot is a group of hackers led by Christian Slater recruiting Elliot for a Project Mayhem type thing. Yes, this story is very anti-corporate, anti-authority, and anti-fake, and that is something I can get behind. Like Fight Club, this is a story for the 99%. It doesn't sell you a fantasy, it tells you the reality we live in, by using very relevant problems that the target audience for this show might or might not have. One of them being crippling student loan debt. There are talks of a broken system of wealth distribution. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and an overall unfairness and crumminess of life is talked about in Mr. Robot. So through that, we want Elliot to succeed because he's one of us, and you want these mega corporations to be taken down because they're evil. The antagonist in this show is a mega corporation called E-Corp, or Evil Corp. That could be seen as really meta and tongue-in-cheek, so it doesn't sound stupid in this show. What's important is it doesn't take away from the world. Instead of attacking real-life corporations and name corporations in the world, it attacks every corporation by straight up calling them Evil Corp. And the irony is astounding that an anti-corporate TV show is on a massively corporate TV channel as the USA Network. I find it really hard to believe that this show was not picked up by HBO or Netflix. Monday Night Raw is on the USA Network, and Monday Night Raw hasn't been great since 2007, people. The cinematography of this show is a love letter to a bunch of films and filmmakers. One of them is Tom Hooper, the man who directed The King's Speech. It is a love letter to him when we talk about compositions. Everything is on the edge of the frame, dangerously on the edge of the frame. Next, we get to David Fincher. The color palette is strikingly Fincher. Desaturated background colors, saturated foreground colors, such as the costumes people are wearing. It really sells the good people as good people and the bad people dressed in gray as bad people. And then next we have Danny Boyle's trademark shot, which is the wide-angle lens for a close-up. It really sells the feelings of paranoia in his films, and it does in Mr. Robot as well. And then finally we get to Jonathan Demme, the man who directed The Silence of the Lambs and The Manchurian Candidate, and Philadelphia as well. What Mr. Robot takes from Jonathan Demme is the full frontal frontal eye-level close-up, which is also used to induce feelings of paranoia, but like in those films and this TV show, it is also used to signify a growth or change in character. Like that one scene in Philadelphia when it's all red, Tom Hanks is dancing and the camera slowly zooms into Denzel Washington's face. No words needed, you know that this man has changed his mind on something. There's a ton of that in Mr. Robot. Everything lines up together, like it looks like you're looking through a box, which is pretty fitting for this TV show if you ask me. And another great part of Mr. Robot is how it forces you to root behind Elliot. I mean, he's a bad guy according to the law, and the people he's trying to take down, how is he any different? He's playing God with his computer with no remorse or care, while the other people are playing gods with their money. The issue with this show is that it kind of forgets its main plot at moments and delves into making the subplots the main plots. I want more of Elliot ranting against the system. I want more of Elliot telling me how society is messed up. The latter episodes of the first season become a bit too personal, and honestly, I do lose a bit of feeling because I don't care about all of that stuff. I care about the system being destroyed. The problem is it sort of goes into the relationships between everyone, how everyone is connected, and it drops unimpressive plot turns. And come on, let's be honest, we all saw that coming with Kristen Slater. Show me more of the American reality, less scripted drama. But the cool part about this show is how it rebounds from that. I mean, every supporting character in this show is really awesome. Kristen Slater's career has been revived by this as the name character, Mr. Robot. And one of the other best characters in the show is Tyler Wellick, who basically plays Patrick Bateman. And then there's another character who's Elliot's best friend named Angela, who plays the Karen Page role from the Daredevil TV show. See, the thing with Mr. Robot is that it will appeal a lot more to film buffs than general audiences because it references classic cinema and classic cinema characters so much. You'll see when you watch the show. There's really nothing new in this show, but the world and the subtext that it's presented in makes it a vastly entertaining TV show. And finally, again, it's really hard for me to not reference and commend how brilliant Elliot's character build and character is. He wants something, and then he gets what he wants, and then it becomes the thing he doesn't want at all. It's all very great stuff, and it keeps you wanting more as the season ends. Now, before I go on with the final rating of this show, let me know if you recognize B.D. Wong in Mr. Robot. Now let's get on to the rating. One of the best seasons of one of the best shows I've seen in recent history. 4.5 out of 5. Please watch Mr. Robot as season 2 is on right now. Thank you so much for watching, people. If you enjoyed this video, hit that free subscribe button. Until next time, remember to love yourselves.